Welcome back. In the previous video you have seen that we have presented the vacancy creation, requisition form creation, and entered a sample data, attached the documents at various requirements. Now we will be building a workflow around this vacancy requisition, where the workflow would explain the approval process for different types of placements reasons, such as a replacement for an existing position. If it's a new post, it may be having a different workflow, or if it's an existing one, it may have a different workflow. So let's define the workflow. I'm just defining the workflow for, maybe the workflow name is new position approvals. Well, we can give this is the process to be adopted for the new position requirement. Okay. And the condition is basically, you will see we have put a single quote and put the variable which is being defined. And in this case, maybe if it is a new post, we need the approval of immediate manager. Maybe we will take the immediate manager. Then we need the approval of maybe the DGM finance. We will take DGM finance. That means the second person. And then we have the HR manager. Okay, so maybe the manager HR would approve this. So that means for a new position where it is a new post, you will notice we have 3 layers of approvals. So we are also explaining them what to do. Okay, ensure there is enough in the requisition. So the financial manager explanation would be ensure proper budgeting facility, and then comes the HR, make necessary arrangements. Okay, that means these are the 3 instructions given to the 3 people with this workflow. So let's create the workflow, and you will notice the workflow got created, new position. Similarly, we can also create for the existing or replacement to the existing one. As explained, we have just created another workflow also. Let us see both the workflows. The first workflow was the new position approval, where you will notice we have defined 3 people with the rule engine and an explanation, and what is the responsibility of the respective people. And similarly, the replacement to existing post, where we only included the immediate manager to approve this. Now we can instantiate this process. But before instantiating, basically let us see how does the rules work. So this is a new post. When we go for the workflows, it says there are 2 workflows are available, and this workflow is not available, not applicable rather, because this is the replacement to the existing post. Whereas if I click on this, you will notice the first workflow is not applicable and the second workflow is applicable. Let's try to activate it. So now to activate the workflow, basically we should ensure that the object, the so-called object which we have created called the vacancy requisition, has a workflow facility available. So we are going back to the basic primary design. You will notice in this we are going to define that this object has a workflow concept. So we are going to the workflow, and we are going to say that this has workflow. So just keep observing here what happens when we really go for the workflow. So we have defined the workflow. The moment we said you will be able to do that. So now we are assigning that this particular object has workflow. So I just defined workflow. The moment we define workflow, it gives me a facility that in the workflow tab, the workflow comments and status, they appear simultaneously here. That means now the form is ready to accept the workflow. So let's start the data. We are going back to the data where you will see our original data. Just for example, I am just taking one of the sample workflows, which is the workflow which we are going to handle. So now let's start the new posting. That means I want a new accounts manager. I would like to start the workflow, and you will notice the replacement is not applicable to this. And I would like to see exactly what are the workflow stages. It explains first, by the immediate manager, ensure that there is enough workload. Then the DGM finance will ensure that there is a proper budgeting facility, and the HR manager will ensure that the make necessary arrangements. In case of replacement, there is only one person. So we are getting into the new post. So I'm just saying proceed. So the moment I say proceed, you will notice only Mr. J. Sapidi's name has come. That is because if you see, this is my immediate manager. By default, the immediate manager will be coming, and we just select. In case if there are more than one object, such as a DGM finance, if there are 2-3 people, their names may be appearing. So I'm just selecting this, and also selecting the standard explanation why we need the candidate. I just kept a sample template here. I'm just filling this up and I'm saying please forward. Now you will notice the workflow has gone to the Mr. J. Sapidi. So if I click this, you will notice it says currently it is in this process. I would like to see the thread, what happened. You can see from Shastri, it has gone to Mr. Sapidi with comments explaining the status is forward on this day, and at stage 1 it went to Mr. Sapidi. So now Mr. J. Sapidi has logged in. You can just see the application, and he has his own workflows or his approvals which are landed to him. So you can just see this is the status forward to immediate manager J. Sapidi. The stage comments, what exactly is the comment on this date, this has come to him, and maybe he would like to see what exactly and what is the reason, what is the document to whom he is referring to. He can see the record details. It is about a vacancy position, and he can also see the vacancy detail, vacancy number so and so for a finance manager. For accounts department, designation is finance manager. It's a new post, and the job description is available for him. So based on this, he can approve or reject. So for now, let us see what exactly how we are going to proceed. So now when we say forward, you will see now it is in the second stage. You can see the view stages. If you remember from the immediate manager, now it is at stage 2. It has to go to the DGM finance. So let's see the DGM finance. There are a lot of people are there. Maybe Mr. Nasreddy is a person. So he says, okay, fine, okay, please process. So that means Mr. J is sending it to Mr. Nasreddy to process that, and he says forward. So the moment it got pushed into, you will see this has vanished from his workflow, and it has gone to the next stage. Okay. So now we are seeing the original record what we have processed. If you remember, it has crossed 2 stages. That means if from the workflow stages, it is sent to immediate manager. Immediate manager has sent to DGM, and maybe it has to go to HR. So let's just see where is the status of that. I can view the thread, and you will notice, if you remember, first it has gone from Mr. Shastri at this time, the stage number 1, from Mr. Shastri to Mr. J, and Mr. J has sent it to Mr. Sapidi. So let's just take it further and forward this. So in the background we have moved the workflow as indicated to various stages. So let's see how it got moved. So let's see the full workflow movement. You will notice in the demo we have shown Mr. Shastri has sent it to Mr. Sapidi. Mr. Sapidi has sent it to Mr. Nasra Reddy, and Mr. Nasra Reddy has sent it to Sharada, and it is finally approved. Now only thing is, here we are not able to see that this has been approved. Maybe it would be nice if we can bring that. We will try to bring this. In the meantime, let's see the status of this, and you will see this is totally closed workflow, approved. So to bring that the status of the workflow on the framework, because it's basically part of the framework, I'm trying to bring this element called the WF status or workflow status, and you will see the workflow status appearing here, so that would make things much more clear. You can see the workflow has started. Similarly, if I start any workflows, say for example this workflow, I'm just starting to send it to Mr. J for approval. This is my immediate manager. I only forwarded it, and you will see the status as forwarded, and whereas this is approved. So let me just take you back. Number 1, we have created the workflows in this, 2 types of workflows, and both are conditional workflows. That means it could have one condition, or it could be multiple condition with and or combinations, and each workflow can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stages. Some may have 2 stages. Say for example, a new position here wants 3 stages. The specialty is the machine has understood this, and you will see in the help document of the vacancy requisition, the machine has already written a help file demonstrating the capability of this workflow. As we go down, this is all the document written by the application itself, the use case diagram, the vacancy for each vacancy, which are the mandatory fields, and what are the sub assignments. And you will notice here available workflows for a new position: start, immediate manager, GM finance, DGM finance, and manager, and what they should do, and also the replacement to existing position, what it is. Please note that this documentation is not done by the machine. It is done automatically by the application. So that would facilitate, eases your operation. So in these 2 videos we have seen how to create a form, the vacancy position form, provide an attachment such as the job description, and attach a workflow, a conditional workflow for approvals. And then let us see in the next video, only approved vacancies can have shortlisted candidates. Before that, we will be creating candidates master in my next video, where the candidate data which is already existing may be ported into the application and how they can be mapped. Thank you very much.